Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to your weekly dose of celestial goodness. As always, thank you for joining me in this space and on this journey. This is a very special week because this is my 26th video. That means Celestial Goodness has been live for half a year, and I just really want to thank you guys who've been watching and let you know how much I appreciate you being here. So thank you. Now, admittedly, this past week was not an easy one for me. After my elation last Saturday, Sunday and Monday brought news of multiple deaths of people that I know, including the very unexpected death of a dear soul, an amazing person, and one of my friends. I think that as humans, there's a part of us that always feels like we will have time to say a proper goodbye, time to do the things that we want to do, and time to live more fully. Yet life is always saying to us, do it now. Do it before you think you will have the chance to do it. Or before you don't get the chance to do it, rather. I desire and work pretty much every day towards living a life that I'm proud of, one in which the people who are around me know how much I love and care about them, and I also feel that way. I feel like I'm surrounded by an abundance of love, and I don't take it for granted, but it's nice to know that. So do I think it matters if we know that or not? Absolutely. And I hope that wherever you are watching this, that you feel love towards yourself and that you are able to give it and to receive it in healthy ways from those around you. A few years ago, I actually had to purge some people out of my life, my real life, because I realized that they weren't really good for me. And that's a topic for another time. So, because of the unexpected news this week, I felt myself kind of slipping off into grief. I wanted to believe that the death of my friend was not real, that I could pick up the phone and send a message and that I would hear something back. But the reality is different. Therefore, I was left rereading old messages and just recollecting memories from the past. If you have not thought about your own grief process, it is really important to know for yourself when you can sense it coming on. In my case, I felt unable to smile, and I really felt the need to be alone with my feelings. My friends Z and Natalie have a podcast, Sipping Tea with Nat and Z, and there's one really amazing episode on grief and loss. I will provide a link to that. Of course, because I still have my daily responsibilities, this week was really a situation where I had to make time and I had to carve out some space for my own emotions. And of course, I had to forge ahead with other things that I need to work on. So, it was a very interesting week for me. When I grieve, I often turn to the words of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. She was a Swiss-American psychiatrist, and she was very famous for her work on death and dying, and she was really the major proponent of what she called the 5 stages of grief. She said, "The reality is that you will grieve forever. You will not get over the loss of a loved one. You will learn to live with it. You will heal, and you will rebuild yourself around the loss that you have suffered. You will be whole again, but you will never be the same. Nor should you be the same, nor would you want to. I don't think that we are ever the same after meeting and knowing certain people. I feel like they just etch their legacy, and the fact that they lived, their presence is etched and remains in our hearts for as long as we're alive." Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief are that there are 5 emotions that we go through when we're grieving: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Depending on the situation, it can take any amount of time to go through these stages. Because I'm aware of when I'm entering into my own stages of grief, I had to do some decompression and disconnecting this week. I got up each day and I did my work, but I also had to spend time off social media. And I had to spend time out in nature. Most of all, I spent some time with my love. He was very supportive and not only gave me the space to grieve, but also lots of hugs when I needed them. I'm a big hugger, so it's always nice when I need a hug to know that there's someone who is just so loving and ready to provide them. So one day while I was out for my evening walk, I put away my phone and I was just listening to the sounds of nature. Close to where I've been walking is a small river, and I like to look over the side of the bridge and just hear the river as it comes down. Some days it's rushing down with full force, and there are days, mostly these are days after it's rained, and then there's some days when it looks like it's just gonna dry up if it doesn't rain soon. This week I felt that the river was a perfect parallel to how I was feeling. Emotions can rush down so quickly, and we shouldn't push them aside, but really let them come. Let them inform us of how we are really feeling. Anyway, as I was walking, I noticed that nearly everyone who was running or walking past me was on their phone or device. Maybe they were listening to music or talking to people. I even saw someone stop in the middle of the road to text. And I also noticed an older couple. They're holding hands and observing everything. Oftentimes, one of them would stop and point to something, a beautiful bird, a flower, or to just the amazing colors of the trees right now. Maybe because I was being low-key creepy and observing everything, appropriately socially distanced of course, I too also noticed more. The colors were magnificent. The way that the sunlight streamed through the trees, and just the way that I noticed how in one specific place there are 2 trees that seem to be hugging each other. I noticed things that I hadn't noticed, and I've taken this walk what feels now like hundreds of times. And it felt like in this moment, nature was saying, just keep going. We have been around for an eternity, and even when you're gone, these trees will still be here. This river will be here, the sky, the birds, they'll be here. And for at least one moment, a lot of things made sense. We are here for this moment in time, and while we're here, we are everything. And yet, we are also a small blip in the grand scheme of things. This moment of decompressing for me and disconnecting from technology and from everything was so comforting that I forgot for a moment just about everything else going on in the world. In that moment, it really was just me, a child of the universe, nature with me, wild and free, and a reminder that life is both fleeting and beautiful. There's a poem that was written in 1927 by Max Ehrmann that I really love. It's a poem that always brings me peace, and I felt that I understood it so well in that moment. The name of that poem is Desiderata, and it goes like this. Go placidly among the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, or her. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep a peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. And I really felt that in that moment, all of those words just nestled into my spirit. So this week, I am encouraging everyone to take some moments to decompress in some way from everything that might be going on. I also encourage a few moments to disconnect from technology. I took some time away from social media and I dropped the ball about replying to some messages. My apologies if you tried to get a hold of me. However, in that time, I was grieving, healing, and remembering some of life's most beautiful lessons. I recently did a Google search. How much time do people spend on their phones? And the top result said that Americans spend an average of 5 hours per day on their phone. I suspect that when you include computer time, television, and other devices, that we are actually spending the majority of our day getting just an overload of information. What is the time that you spend in the day where you let your own mind create, where you think freely, where you rest? Do you even have that time? So these are just a few of my tips for decompressing and disconnecting from technology for even a little bit. After you read my blog and watch my video though. So thank you. First, make some time. Whether it's 15 minutes or an hour, having some downtime to decompress from technology can help your mind to get some of the rest that it needs just from the daily overload of information. This information overload can cause anxiety, stress, and depression. Write your time down on your calendar if you need to. 2, start your day off with something other than technology. Most people will reach immediately for their phones to see what they missed while they were sleeping, but sometimes the best thing that you can do for your day is to start it off with something, maybe prayer, meditation, a cup of tea. Allow yourself to set an intention for a good day before the news of the world starts to bombard your life. I actually really love the wee hours of the morning right before the sun comes up. I like to stand with my tea warm in my hand and look out to see the first light of the day coming in. That is my sacred time. Third, realize that free time and downtime are sacred. Sometimes we feel bad when we're not doing anything. We feel the need to be constantly productive. But playtime and free time is also valuable. Throughout history, there are people, and I've mentioned in other videos, Albert Einstein, who found great solutions to problems of the world when they were daydreaming. Some of these people were very intentional about their free time and downtime, and I think it says something that the world considers Einstein a genius. I'm just saying. Fourth, set technological boundaries. Let the people in your life know that there are times when you will be offline. That time is valuable to you, and you are asking them to respect that. I would also include here that if you're using social media, remember, it's okay to unfollow pages and people that just don't vibe with your values. Would you be friends with these people in real life? Would you allow them into your home in real life? If not, why are you allowing that through technology? I also think this helps with doom scrolling. Fifth, find a hobby. There are many amazing things to do in this world and in this life that don't actually include technology. I know that sometimes for me, after working an entire day looking at the computer screen, I don't actually enjoy doing things that involve another screen. And lately, and I think with everything going on, it's been a bit hard for me to focus on reading, which I love. So sometimes I might write or just doodle in my notebook, or literally just sit and just let my mind sort of like wander for a bit. I also complain about cooking because I've cooked so much this year, but really it's also therapeutic. So that's one thing you could pick up. 6, I would initiate a no phone policy at dinner time. Make your meal sacred, no scrolling, just enjoying your meal. If you live with someone, this might be a good time to have a real conversation and just focus on what the other person is truly saying. I also hear that this helps with digestion, but don't quote me on that. 7, spend some time out in nature. I'm a big advocate of this. Whether you're glamping or you're the glamping type or the hardcore, I'm gonna go out there and hike 10,000 miles today. I think that even a few minutes out in nature really is just helpful to your overall well-being. Turn your phone on silent. Observe how the light hits the trees or the leaves, or just how the river or sea or ocean or the creek, whatever you're closest to, how that sounds. Or just how amazing it is the way that things in nature keep the cycle going. Things grow, they live, they die, they go back to the earth, they grow again. So I think that's pretty amazing. And these are just a few ways for you to spend some time decompressing and disconnecting for a bit from technology. I think it helps to center us and helps remind you of some of the really important things that are going on. Really, the people around you, and just remembering what matters. I enjoy using social media, but I really also enjoy living and participating in my real life. The spectrum of experiences in life are so varied. We will experience loss, but we will also experience love and everything that is in between. What kind of life are you trying to live? That's my question to you. And if you aren't living it, then why not? Why not live it? Why not you? Why not today? Kubler-Ross also said, "It is only when we truly know and understand that we have a limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it was the only one we had." Please live your life to the fullest. And that does include making some of your time sacred. It means carving out space for you to process, decompress, daydream, and allow yourself to be here right now, present and fully aware. Fully aware that life is yet this very mysterious, beautiful, and amazing unfolding. May the stars shine so brightly over your week, and I really, really hope that it is one of peace, serenity, and an abundance of love for you. If you are enjoying these videos, and I really do hope that you are, please like, comment, share, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. So thank you as always. I just don't have enough words to say how much I appreciate your presence here on this journey with me. Thank you.